Hello, Sail Away crew. We are currently on Harmony of the Seas Royal Caribbean on a 7-night cruise out of Galveston, Texas. If you're new to the channel, we are all things Wagner, Sherry and JJ, and we share cruise and travel information. So thanks for hanging out with us for a little bit. While we're on this cruise, we thought what better time than to give you some reminders about what not to bring on a cruise. Why waste packing space if there's no need? And make sure you hang around with us until the end for a bonus item. One is a beach towel. You do not need to bring a beach towel on a cruise. All the cruise lines we've been on, which is 4 different ones, will provide you a beach towel on the ship, and will also provide you a beach towel to go into port for excursions or whatever you have planned for the day. So do not waste your packing room with the big bulky beach towels from home. The next one you do not need to bring, and you're not allowed to bring, is clothes irons or clothing steamers. You cannot bring irons for your clothes or steamers for your clothes. Now you can bring like hair implements, curling irons and hair straighteners. Those kind of things are allowed. Now on most of the cruise lines, you can send your clothes out to have them pressed if you want to. Another little pro tip is a product like the Downy Wrinkle Release Spray. That works very well. Just keep in mind that everyone else has also packed their clothes in their stuffed suitcase, and so you're all literally in the same boat with your wrinkles on board. So you're not being judged because everybody's got their wrinkles. If you bring a clothes iron or a steamer, they will take it from you at the port and you will be able to pick it back up when you disembark your cruise ship. Another thing you do not need is an extension cord and distilled water for something like a CPAP machine. Every cruise line has a special needs request area on their website, and you just need to go there, Google it, go there, fill out the special needs request form, and your room steward will have your extension cord and your water ready in your cabin or ready to bring to you in your cabin. So don't waste the time or the packing space with a huge extension cord or the water. One, they might not realize what the extension cord is for and they might take it from you. So just be sure that you go online and request that on your cruise line website. Let's talk about walkie talkies. So over the past 10 years, I think generally, people have really been talking about how to communicate with others on the cruise ship if they don't buy a Wi-Fi package. Wi-Fi packages can be expensive, so people are always looking for alternatives to buying that. Most all the cruise lines now have a messaging feature inside their app, and it's free to use, included to use on board. So it's no additional cost to use that message feature on the app. So walkie-talkies, one, this is a little debatable, but they're very loud on board, especially if you're using it like with your children and maybe they don't know to turn the volume down. So it's loud, can be disruptive to the people around you, and it's just not necessary anymore because of those messaging apps. And the last one is some cruise lines, one definitely is Norwegian Cruise Line, has actually banned walkie-talkies from being on their cruise ship. So make sure that you check with your cruise line's rules to whether walkie-talkies are even allowed, and then rethink whether you actually need one because of the message app. Another hotly debated issue on the cruise forums is how dressy do you have to be on dress up or formal or dress your best night on board. Most of the cruise lines since the restart have really loosened their requirements or suggestions for the fancy or formal night. So one thing you do not need to bring any longer on a cruise is super fancy clothing. You just don't. You can make your vacation what you want it to be. If you want to bring your tuxedo and ball gown, by all means, knock yourself out. It's a good time on formal night. But if you just want to wear your jeans and a polo to the main dining room, most of the cruise lines will allow you. Again, make sure that you check your cruise line guidelines or requirements, some of them, for what's allowed and what's required possibly in the main dining room. Some of the luxury lines will actually not let you in if you have clothing like jeans or shorts on in the main dining room or some of the specialty dining areas. But most of the major cruise lines will allow you in with most clothing. Again, make sure you check your cruise line's guidelines. Another thing you might no longer need to bring on a cruise is a big, expensive, fancy camera. The exemptions to that rule, in my opinion, would be places like Alaska and maybe some ports in Europe or the Mediterranean. If you have beautiful landscapes that you want to get on a really nice camera, that would be the exceptions. Generally, on a Caribbean cruise, your phone, especially if you have a semi-new smartphone, your phone is going to be more than sufficient to take little videos or shorts or reels or pictures on your vacation. So do not waste the time or, quite frankly, the money on a really expensive fancy camera. Another suggestion is to leave your good old highlighter at home. No need to pack it. Every cruise line now has an app, and they put their schedule for the day on the app. Some of us, old school, still enjoy lying in the bed at night and highlighting maybe what we want to do for tomorrow. And I do have to say, the actual paper cruise planner is more detailed than the app. However, most of the cruise lines now also have some kind of QR code either in your cabin or down near guest services that you can scan and get the paper version of the cruise planner on your phone. So leave your highlighters at home. As long as we're talking about your smartphone these days, leave your alarm clock at home. Of course, you have a clock feature on your phone, right? So you don't need to waste that little corner of your suitcase packing an alarm clock. Just set your alarm or don't set your alarm. Remember, you're on vacation. This is also a question we see a lot on the cruise forums, and we get asked personally, can I bring my hair dryer? Yes, you can. However, you don't need to. That is something you do not need to pack for a cruise. And let me show you why. This is the hair dryer in our cabin right now. One thing I will point out is it has one button on it, okay, and it also has a temperature gauge here in the back, but the one button has to be continually held down for the dryer to remain on. If you have something like a hand problem or arthritis in your hands, right, this might not be perfect. However, what you can do is put a hair tie or a rubber band all the way around here and just keep that button held down the entire time you're using the dryer. That will save you from having to pack your own hair dryer. One less thing you need to take on a cruise. If you have found this video helpful or informative, please click that like button and hit the subscribe button for future cruise and travel information. We really appreciate it. Another thing you do not need to bring on a cruise is your own clothes hangers from home. This very cruise and several cruises before now, have asked for extra hangers from my room steward, and I got them. I have always received the plastic ones as opposed to the wooden hangers that are already in the closet, but these suffice perfectly. This cruise I asked for 7 extras, and I got some with the actual cutouts in the top for like spaghetti strap or tank tops. And I got these regular ones that can also hold pants. So do not take up the room in your suitcase or the extra weight, especially if you're flying with hangers in your suitcase. Just ask your room steward. But if you are still wondering what you should pack or should wear on a cruise, check out the links below for several videos about what to pack for a cruise. And here's your bonus item, bonus time. My tip is, ladies specifically, I'm talking to you. You do not need to bring on a cruise a pair of shoes for every outfit. I promise you, this is our 21st cruise, and in 20 prior cruises, I have never noticed if another woman on board wore the same shoes for 6 nights in a row. I just haven't. So do not waste your packing space and the weight in your suitcase if you're flying with multiple shoes for multiple outfits. This is what I bring. I bring a pair of flip-flops. This is a neutral pair that I got on Amazon, and I'll link this below, and it's really comfortable too. I have it in this neutral color and in a brown. I bring a black pair of heels, right? Or you can bring a black pair of flats if you're not a heels type gal, right? Because black almost goes with everything. For anything that black does not go with, I bring a neutral pair of heels. I will also link both of these down below. This neutral pair is really good because it's literally clear. Clear heel, clear up top here, and it will go with anything you want to wear it with. This also comes in like a kitten heel. So if you're not a high heel, I think this is a 3.5 incher, right? It comes in a little kitten heel too. So if you're not a high heel gal, I will link these down below also. And then possibly a pair of tennis shoes if you're going to be walking around the cruise ship or working out, or you have a port excursion that might actually have you walking most of the day. Otherwise, save the room and the weight in your suitcase, and do not bring a pair of shoes for every outfit. We've been talking about what not to bring on a cruise, but you might be thinking, well, Sherry, what should I bring? So check out this video here for several essential gear items for you to consider popping in your suitcase. And thanks for stopping by. We will see you next time. Be blessed.